Welcome everyone to my online class on computer. I hope you have watched the previous video of my class. That was the computer features and its limitations. Probably you might have understood the computer and its features with its limitations. With that knowledge, we will be moving ahead today with the next chapter, that is computer hardware and a computer software. Computer hardware and computer software are the two major components of the computer system. Before learning what is computer hardware and what is computer software, let us know about the computer system. Computer system is a combination of computer hardware and a software to perform any specific task. To perform any particular task in a computer, we need both hardware and a software. They must work together to perform any specific task in the computer system. So, computer hardware and a computer software makes the computer system complete. For now, let us start today's lesson with computer hardware. Hardware are all the physical parts of the computers which can be touched and seen. Computer hardwares are sometimes called as a device or a component which are handled by the hands. Computer hardwares are also divided into four different types which have its own functions respectively. Hardwares are the physical parts, right? So I have shown the four different parts of hardware in the flow diagram here. As we see, the four different parts or the types of computer hardware, we remember the basic working principle of the computer as well, because the basic working principle of the computer also includes the same four stages, and they are input, processing, output, and memory and storage hardware. So today we will be learning the input hardware, processing hardware, output hardware, memory and storage hardware, all the types of hardwares individually in details. We'll start input hardware, one of the types of computer hardware. We have main input hardwares. As you can see in the pictures, we have many different options to input the data into the computer. So what is computer's input hardware? Input hardware are the devices that are used to accept the data and instruction given by the user into the computer. For example, mouse is used to give commands to the computer. Joystick is used to give commands while playing games in the computer. Input hardware accepts the input in the form of text, numbers, pictures, graphics, sounds, and video, etc. For example, you can see the input hardware of computers. They are keyboard, mouse, trackball, graphic pad, scanner, digital camera, webcam, joystick, microphone, and many more. So let us move on to the next hardware, that is a processing hardware. After we give input to the computer also performs the processing automatically. So there is one and only one processing hardware, that is central processing unit, CPU. We all of us know that already. The processing hardware converts the given input into the meaningful information. Normally the CPU that we picture is a casing box inside which CPU is attached on the motherboard. And this CPU consists of three different parts, and they are control unit CU, arithmetic logic unit ALU, and register. After the processing, the computer also produces the meaningful result, which is known as the output. So there are many output hardwares used to give the output to the users. So what is output hardware? Output hardware are the devices that are used to produce meaningful result as an output after the processing. Output hardware gives an output in the form of text, picture, video, audio, both in soft copy and a hard copy output. Soft copy output devices are monitor, speaker, headset and projector because these devices gives the output in the form of visual and a sound that cannot be touched but can be seen and heard. Similarly, hard copy output devices are only printer and a plotter because only these two devices gives the printed text paper as an output after the processing, which can be touched, which can be felt and seen, unlike to the soft copy output hardwares. So after the output, we also need to store and save our work for the future purpose. For that, we need memory and storage hardwares. So memory and storage hardwares are actually of different kinds. Memory and storage hardware are the devices that are used to store the instructions and information temporarily or permanently for the future purpose. Here, primary memory are of two types: random access memory RAM, read-only memory ROM. In a primary memory, RAM is a volatile memory which stores the data instruction at the time of program execution, whereas read-only memory ROM is a permanent memory or a non-volatile memory that stores the data permanently at the time of manufacture. Whereas the storage hardwares, unlike the primary memory, they are the actual hardwares where the data and the information are stored permanently. Permanently, as in for the future use, for the future purposes. Unless you delete it, it remains there for the long period of a time. There are varieties of secondary storage devices. They are hard disk drive, as you can see in the picture, pen drive, CD DVD, floppy disk drive, and etc. These all are the devices that helps us to store our work that we have performed in the computer for the future purpose. Okay, these all are the types of the computer hardware. Now we will move on to the second component of the computer system, and that is computer software. Computer software is the logical part of computer, unlike the computer hardware. Computer software, or simply software, are the collection of data or instructions that tells computer what to do. Software is also known as the collections of computer programs that instructs the hardwares to perform a particular task. And these computer softwares are of two different types, and they are system software and application software. Here in this flow diagram, you can see the system software are further divided into three types. They are operating system software, for example, Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac operating system software. Second, utility software, and the examples are antivirus software, compressing softwares like WinZip, WinRAR. And third type of system software is language processor, and the examples are assembler, compiler, and interpreter. Similarly, there are two different types of application software as well. They are packaged or ready-made software and customized or tailored software. In packaged software, we can take an example of Microsoft Office, where we find MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and many more. And customized or tailored software are the softwares, for examples like billing processing softwares used in hospitals, bank, and schools, which processes the bills for the students and records of the students and teachers, also produces the report cards and so on. So with this all different types of software and computer hardware, now we have come to the level where we can differentiate between the hardware and a software. With this knowledge, we will be differentiating between computer hardware and a software. For your convenience, I have created a table with the two columns where computer hardware is aligned at the one column and computer software at the other column. So let me explain in a brief the differences between the hardware and software here. First difference with the computer hardware. Hardware are the physical parts of the computer that cause processing of data, whereas software is a set of instructions that tells the computer exactly what to do. Second difference is computer hardwares can be touched and seen because they are the physical parts, whereas software cannot be touched because they are the logical. They can only process, they can only execute the programs. Third difference, computer hardware has four main categories as we have learned already: input, processing, output, and storage. Always remember. Whereas computer software is mainly divided into two main types. They are computer system software and computer application softwares. Now, the fourth uh, difference for the hardware and software is, for hardware, examples are keyboard, mouse, monitor, hard disk, printer, CPU, RAM, and ROM. And the examples of computer softwares can be MS Word, Excel, MS PowerPoint, Photoshop, or any other applications like SLC processing software, etc. So, with all these differences, we have come to the label where we understand the term hardware and a software of the computer. So, in today's lesson, we have learned types and examples of both hardware and softwares comparatively. So, we have come to the end of the class today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope all of you have understood. All I need to say for now is stay safe and learn. Thank you, everyone.